It's the start of April, an exciting time of year on any hunter's calendar. It's Red Stag roar time, and I'm hitting the road and heading down to South Westland. I met up with long-time hunting buddy Craig Doreen, otherwise known as Chief, and we loaded up his jet boat with enough kit for a few nights in the hills.
Chief's just doing his final checks.
Go pedal goes.
We only put a wee ding in Chief's boat, but anyway. Actually, it's quite bad.
We pulled the jet boat up out of the river as far as we could, then packed our gear off up a side valley that we'd hope would be holding a few deer. We found a campsite up above the flood line and set up the fly.
Is that so the deer don't run onto it? Come down the deer trail? Oh, you?
Yeah. Safety first, Sean.
It's getting there. 10 metres accuracy. At Lewis. Right, I'll just show you the wee camp that we've set up. Just got to fly over top of a wee tent. We'll probably survive under there. Chief's not sleeping in the wee tent with me. He has another tent over there. Yes. He's a long way from me, which is good, because he snores quite loudly. In fact, 10-15 metres is probably not far enough. Anyway, we can get him to shift tomorrow. Hopefully the sound of roaring stags will negate the sound of snoring anyway.
Well, I'll bring them in. There'll be stags roaring all around us in the night.
We headed out for an evening scout and found some signs that stags did indeed exist in this area. It had been a pretty big day travelling into the block, so it was time for a bit of a feed and a decent night's sleep. The morning dawned reasonably clear and a bit of bush hunting was on the agenda.
He just went right round us and cut our wind. Yeah. That's our first morning, and wandered up out of the creek and gave a roar. Got an immediate reply, and the little fella came running into us, looked like a mini 10. I think he's a mini 10, wasn't he, Chief? Something like that. He's only a wee baby, but he certainly wanted to play with us, so he came right in close, came around one side, and then he just worked his way right back round so he could cut our wind, which is what they normally do, because they'll try and come round you, because if they're unsure of what's going on, they'll try and get a scent. And so that's what he eventually did. He cut round, cut our scent, and then he ran away, and now he's barking up the hill. We'll just move on now through another couple of gutters and get into a new territory. Hopefully there'll be some more stags somewhere.
We bumped into a freshly used stag wallow, and we reckon the owner is fairly close by. This stag walked in real close. You can actually make out his torso in the centre right of the screen. Unfortunately, a branch had reduced the impact of the shot, and we now had a tracking job on our hands.
It's a lot of blood, and we tracked right around here, and unfortunately we were being a bit loud, and we said, there's a heap of blood, and he jumped up and ran. So he's probably clotted up a lot, and then he spooked again, and he's taken off, so we don't even know what type of injury he has, but it may be just a neck shot, so he might be just clipped enough, but no damage to his legs or anything like that. So he's taken off again, and we can't pick up a blood trail, but we're going to keep trying. It's a bit of a disaster. Yeah. Bugger. Well, we've been trying to find this stag for about 2 hours now. About 100 metres from where I last saw the blood, I found one little drop. And we've been grid searching around this piece of blood for another piece of blood to see what direction he might have travelled, but we can't find anything. And yeah, it's just pretty tough. We might have to give it away. Anyway, we can't win all the time, and it's pretty sad, but it's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. It's not what we planned to do, that's for sure.
We moved on, hoping to have some better luck further up the valley.
Here is the antler rub of a baby stag. And this is the middle-sized stag. And over here is the big daddy stag. And that's the one we're after. No bays. We've brought up a couple of stags this morning. We've sort of just walked on this one really. We were coming down through some really crap bush and just came into a wee creek gut, and a stag roared just beside us without any provocation, so we gave a wee roar and he just came walking straight up to us. And when Chief saw the tops of one side, he saw it had 3 points on that one side, so it was bombs away really. But unfortunately he wasn't quite as big as what we first thought, And yeah, but anyway, it's a good bag of sausages there, and we wouldn't mind a bit of back steak on our pan tonight instead of back country. And Chief's got a bit more antler to make his. What are you making, Chief?
My antler chandelier.
Oh, a chandelier. Chief's making a chandelier. So there you go. We've got some more chandelier material.
By mid-afternoon, the drizzle started to set in, so we headed back to the fly camp for an early dinner.
Tell you what, using a Lee snack cheese thing.
Cream cheese. Eat the biscuit first. Yeah. Spread your cream cheese on the venison steak. Bung her on. A bit more cream cheese on top.
Very unusual. Have you done this quite a number of times before, Chief? Or?
This is my very first time, but you wait, this will be on the next episode of my kitchen rules.
So now we've got a Lee snack biscuit, cracker, crushed up on top of the steak. So what do you got there, Chief?
This is venison le snack.
It's pretty good.
I wouldn't say it's the most tender bit of venison I've ever had.
Rutting stag venison le snack. Le rut.
Next morning, Chief and I split up to hunt solo, and I found my way into some very nice looking bush terraces.
So the rain finally let up and the sun's coming out, and so I'm back in the bush this morning. It's bloody wet in the bush though, so I'm getting a bit soaked by the trees. It's hard to keep any camera gear dry and your scope dry, but anyway, that's life. I have heard a couple of stags roaring this morning, and one came right up to me, but unfortunately the wind swung around to me at the last second, so he spooked, and I didn't get very good look at him. I only saw his ass really, but he has been using a wallow, so that's a good sign. So the roar is still on the move, which is good. I'll just keep wandering around in this wet bush and see what I can come up with, I suppose. Hopefully by the end of the day it will start to dry out a bit and it'll be a bit easier going with the cameras. I think that wee stag liked me a wee bit. There's another stag roaring up further. Sounds a lot more throaty. Might be a better stag. Should go after him, I think. I just came over brow and noticed a hind just standing just down here below me. Then heard another movement. There was a stag there with her. He did give a couple of roars. I couldn't really get the camera on him properly because it was obscured by all the bush, but there's only a small 10. It's not worth shooting. Good that he gave a couple of roars anyway. There's a little blue bush mushroom. I'm not going to eat it, but deer do. I once cut open a deer gut and found a whole heap of blue mushrooms in the gut. So deer actually eat these. He actually had me slightly concerned when he walked up to around about 2.5 metres. I was thinking about chucking the camera down and maybe getting the rifle ready, but yeah. I never used to worry about that sort of thing until I read a story about some guy getting attacked by a stag, but usually they just run away when they get close to you, but sometimes you sort of look them in the eye and think, geez, he might have a go here. Anyway, 2.5 metres was pretty exciting, and I kept the camera steady, so that's the main thing. Yeah, good fun. Real good fun. I just wish I had some young hunter with me or a first time hunter and they could have had a field day in here today, but I suppose if you shoot one, that's probably it for the morning, so when you don't shoot them, you just get to pass by and look at another one.
I set off back to camp, bumping into a young red stag on the flats beside the creek along the way. The rain started coming back in again and was a bit on again, off again all afternoon.
We're shifting camps. We've sort of been in this area for a couple of days, so we'll now shift to a different site and have another go. I think we've got one more day on us before it pisses down. Maybe not even a day, might be raining heaps by the end of the day, but we'll see how we go. We'll just move on and change sites. Going to move back down the creek we came up originally. Set up a new camp. Well, it was a bit of rain last night. Caught a lot of rain actually. We're a bit worried about the jet boat, so I've just come down this morning to check it out and see if it's still here. And it is, but the river's come up a good couple of metres. It's actually bank to bank, literally bank to bank. in flood this morning. There's a few logs and things coming down, so luckily the rain stopped, because we might get out of here today. If the rain stays away, it'll drop quickly and we'll be able to get out.
We're pretty happy to make it back to the utes. The river's come up a lot, and yeah, we didn't want to be stuck up there in a flood, so we boated out in a half flood. There's a bit of stuff floating down the river, and Chief did very well, got us out of there. It was a bit wet on the boat ride out, and all our gear's soaking, but no, we'll be able to go and dry out now for a while and see what the next hunt brings.